Like I'm back on the radio. This is kind of fun. Great. Oh, that was a pretty cool transition. I'm actually kind of happy about that and how that worked out. Anyway, hey, I'm Tomadoc. I'm with Lobrylla over there and Pryde. Like, but let me just first say that this is our first podcast together, kind of not totally lying, but under the Summit Cross Up brand. So this is our new podcast called Summit Cross Up, where we're going to talk about anything and everything, fighting games, nerd culture, to gaming, to anything that comes up in there. But hopefully, it's mostly fighting game focused. But we are your three commentators, or your three main commentators here at MTS, and we decided just to be talking about other stuff rather than just talking about the games that are in front of us. So we'll do some short introductions. Like I said, I'm Tomadoc. I am the fearless leader ish that usually cowers in the corner when there's a lot of pressure happening and gets stressed out. And I just like to curl up in a ball, like and suck my thumb and be in a fetal position, like I was earlier today when everything was going on. And then there is Lorilla over there, right off to my right, I guess. And
Oh, I did it too. Yeah.
yeah, she did that. Yeah, where she's basically like, if I'm Caesar, she's gonna be basically Brutus and is just waiting to get to stab me with that dagger of hers because I could never trust her. Although I do trust her with my life, I don't think I could ever trust her that she would want to like take over at some point. Hi, Lobs.
Hey, I'm super trustworthy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Geez, the lie detector test just went like it just like waved all over the place. We're- But and then over on all the way in my far right, we got Pryde, who's I would say would be the Cassius, but I'm not even sure if he would be the Cassius because I'm not sure if he would pay enough attention and be that detailed on getting the plan together. But he would improv it really well. So, but as I said, there's by Brutus and Cassius over there. But Pryde, welcome in.
Mm, yeah, well, always welcome in. It's always a pleasure to be casting with you guys, especially for Venture Summit. And I don't know, I'm just excited to talk about whatever we're going to talk about today. A lot of people, what is it, compare me to Golden Retriever energy. So if you continue to watch further episodes, you're probably going to see hints of that, but or even this episode. So who knows? But
Yeah.
yeah, and have a lot of fun today.
Yeah, golden retriever energy is something that we kind of do mock you on, at least between the three of us. But we have become very good coworkers, and I'll even say it like pretty good friends in all of this, like in this venture. And we wanted to at least have a project where we can talk about different things, and we kind of come it from a different angle. Me becoming. I don't want to say I was an ex pro. I was never really a professional player. I'll just say I got paid to play video games when I did well, whether it was in Counter Strike or in fighting games. But like I stopped in the mid 2010s, like early 2010s actually. So that was like when I stopped. And then I just sort of came back into it like years later and everything. So I kind of have like a kind of like a wisdom-ish view on everything. Like Lorella, like short introduction, like how did you get into fighting games? Like what is kind of how it kind of came about in your world?
Oh, certainly. I tell this story sometimes, but when I was a young girl, one of our local grocery stores had a Street Fighter 2 cab, and I looked up to Chun-Li a lot.
Mhm.
So I came into fighting games just pretty naturally just by being around arcades and being able to play like Street Fighter. We eventually got it on the Sega Genesis, and I sort of just stuck with fighting games off and on over the course of my life. Like I was super addicted to Soul Blade. I played Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and like all kinds of just random fighting games on the PlayStation. And even though I won't say like I'd say I'm more casual fighting games for the bulk of my life. This last year, I've gotten more into tournament and competitive. It's just always been a part of me.
Mhm. And Pride.
Well, I mean, for me, it's kind of interesting because, like, I don't know, when you're young, like most times your parents just give you like Nintendo consoles. So, I used to play your usual, like your typical Nintendo games, the parties, the karting. But then I got Smash, and I was kind of like, this is fascinating. This game's really deep. I kind of like it. It was melee, right?
Hmm.
And then as I got older, I discovered that there were tournaments for this, and that there was a really interesting metagame that develops or gameplay. So I really dabbled in that, pushed further, and then that allowed me to take that passion and expand on it. So I played like Tekken Tag Tournament 2, a little bit of Street Fighter 4. Yes, even on the 3DS. And I kind of was like having a bit of fun with that. And then here I am now, really enjoying Tekken 8. Still play Smash on the side, but I think just having that gateway was really nice. And
Hmm.
from there, I didn't just attend tournaments and stuff. I actually dabbled in casting because actually from my scene, like no one really wanted to do it or knew how to do it, but I was like, oh, this is easy. I can just do it. And now here we are. And I think that was one of the best decisions I've ever made was to give that a shot. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's how we all kind of just stumbled into it in a way. But we all had some sort of background in some sort of communication. So I came from radio. Like I did radio back in college and everything like that. Now I do like professional corporate presentations, for a lack of a better term, literally every day. So communication's always been a thing, but I've been known to be Mr. NPR within our community here at MTS. But at least it's like it, it's how do I say it? I don't say it's. Someone told me my voice was soothing. That creeped me out. But and I think Labs, I think you know who I'm talking about. Who actually said that at one point. But and nothing against him. It just was like I've never heard that like ever. But but I want to say there's like some sort of like safety, like like if I'm talking, like there's something, um, whether it's truthful or like like an anecdote, like I try to make it good for the layman, and that's kind of how I came about. Like Lobs, like you had a theater background, right? Like that's from what I remember.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've ever since I was in probably like late middle school to high school, I took several theater classes and really enjoyed that sort of thing. And then in college I excelled in speech. And then of course within the last like 6 or more years I've been doing streaming, and that sort of
Hmm.
like brought that theater back, brought that speech back, and I've gotten really good at being on camera and speaking to other people.
Yeah, and like you said, Pride, like um, you did other stuff before you got into casting, but you got comfortable with casting because you had a good background too. You were like on a debate team, if I remember right.
Yeah, I was on a debate team in high school, and then also after that, I did a lot of casting. And through my casting and stuff, I got a lot of opportunities to be on like genuinely like be on shows talking about Smash Brothers and stuff. There was a documentary done, so I definitely am not camera shy. That's not a problem, and I loved public speaking growing up. And commentary is just public speaking, but geared towards this specific niche, which is
Yeah,
fighting games. So it's not anything new to me, and it's something that I'm very comfortable doing. I love yapping.
yeah.
I yap all the time,
I
maybe
d
too much. I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, we all I yap way too much, but I forgot I also did hockey commentary in college too. So like I have the sports commentary background as well. So I kind of brought that in. But anyway, as we're kind of like moving on here and just had these like little short intro for everybody. Um Happy New Year to everybody. Right now, this is the second day of 2025. So, as our first episode, I kind of wanted to do a year in review on everything that kind of happened. Well, not everything that happened this year, but like between the three of us, like what were like the biggest moments that we had. And I want to try to condense mine into like one, possibly two moments. But like in general, when it comes to all the different moments, like I would say that one of the biggest things was actually joining this group. Like I actually officially joined this group as a board member around this time. Like so it's been literally 1 year since I've joined this group. So like ever since we started, like I wanted to figure out like how we would, and we, when I say we, I'm talking about MTS, or a mid-tier summit, trying to how to, like, what do we do? Like they were not in a good place. Like they had potential to grow, but there was like some weird stuff going on. And just through me going in and just suggesting things and then trying to execute on stuff, I am an executive for crying out loud in corporate world. So I was just doing what I would do in normal work, and everything started just coming along. And Not to be sappy, because I don't want people that have shrines of pride or lobs like thinking I'm hitting on them or anything like that, if they don't
Oh,
already think that already. But I like hiring and signing the two of you was like kind of like one of my best achievements, knowing what you guys do like on streams and everything like that. Because it was just like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's like both of you have been always like these very not camera shy, very like vocal, but you guys weren't like straight up. Although like you weren't straight up like FGC folk. Like you were just you. Like you had interest in FGC, so that was the reason why I hired you. And then fast forward to like probably one of our best achievements is, I think, is that we actually got to start No Frames Given, our show, and it got to a point now where I'll just highlight the two shows. Like we had a Street Fighter show where I want to say it was like in early November, I think. And it was like me and Lobs that were doing it. And both of us had really bad days. Like we just didn't know how to really react to anything. Lobs had like a really weird event that kind of came up, and it it almost like got to a point where she may not have been able to do the show. But it was one of those like, we both knew, at least me and Lobs knew, we knew how to be professional, we knew how to separate it. And honestly, it was got to the point where Lobs and I, it became our best show because we didn't want to be anywhere but life that day, and No Frames Given became that. And I'll take that as like one of the best, like obviously one of the best shows of 2024. Outside of the other one that I'll say, this is my two for one right now, is the No Frames Given um on just right out on Boxing Day. Like you weren't there, Pride, for that one, but
I was working
you were
amongst
working.
the madness that is
Yeah.
Boxing Day.
You in Canada, like it doesn't really like work that well because Boxing Day is such a big deal. But
Bigger than Black Friday.
yeah, it's like your Black Friday up there. But what I was gonna say though is that because it was Lobs and I were doing the show, it became one of our best shows because it became our best turnout. We had like four pros that came out, like Spiro Jin, King Ray Jr.,
Okay.
Rhythm, where it was there, Peeling was there too. So me and Lobs just did like we did we did our best, and we tried to put on our best show. But I can definitely tell you there were a lot of mistakes that were happening, but we were just flowing with it. We did not care, and we just had a good time. And to say this, like kind of preview a little bit, not preview totally, but it's just like we now have a Thursday bracket pretty much on our own for at least Tekken 8, and we're still doing it bi-weekly. So, but like Pride, what do you think is yeah, what are you thankful for 2024? What's like your best, what are your best memories so far, or best things that are, that happened this year or last year, I should say.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You mentioned something that was very recent. I'm gonna do the same thing. I just loved watching the Game Awards. A lot of my coworkers were like, "Oh, I want to watch you do something," and I'm like, "Well, it's not gonna be a tournament, but you get to watch some stuff, and you get to watch the Game Awards too." And honestly, it just felt like even though we are apart, like distance wise and stuff, I really felt we were just on the same couch watching the same thing, getting excited and/or like just watching
Uh-huh.
whatnot, and then we got to see the Clive reveal, which was cool. I think I had like an absolute like complete hysterical moment when I saw Shadow getting in a car, and that was all he did. So I was kind of disappointed, but I really just
Not
enjoyed
to
it. It was very
interject,
cool.
not to interject. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna throw this
go ahead.
audible right out there right now because you were saying how excited you were like during the whole thing, and I was trying to play it up, but there was someone that's like right now sitting in between us where it has become our biggest short, where how she
Yes.
lack of reaction to Clive just sort of happened because you were
Yeah.
so excited about that, but it was like I was like, "Oh yeah," like I have no idea what I even said in the beginning. I was like, "Wait, what number are we on?" Like on Final Fantasy,
What
like
number are we on
that's
though?
what I said. You can definitely tell I had no idea what was going on. But like Lobs was like being so unprofessional. Like I was the drunk one. Like, and she was being super unprofessional and just like, uh, right? Lobs. Like I just wanted to point that out. Rebuttal? Do you have a rebuttal for that?
Wait a minute, is that unprofessional or is that confused? Because I would argue that I was extremely confused as somebody who did not play Final Fantasy 16, and I was really like, Is this? Is this who's gonna be on there?" Like, I literally was like, I raised my eyebrow. What more do you want, man?
No, it was just great. But I didn't mean to like cut you off, Pride. But you can kind of
No,
continue
no,
now.
no, no. I'm
But
just thinking like, oh, it's Jin. That's
yeah,
Jin. Oh, there it is.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I liked it. Well, just backstory, right? Like when I played Smash like competitively, more so than I was a caster, like I played Cloud. Then when I picked up Tekken 7 and it was actually doing well in my locals, I played Noctis because I thought it was funny. It's like, oh, Final Fantasy, and then they did it again, and so they gave me another Final Fantasy dude. So I was like, all right, I'll just play it, and I thought that was really cool. I also just enjoyed you guys were having a lot of fun, but I just really enjoyed like trying to call out the games that I see. Like I'm like, oh, it's like this. It's kind of like Where's Waldo, you know? But for like the games, I I love just like predicting things and being like, oh, is that what I think that is? But however, I actually missed the Virtua Fighter one. That
yeah.
I didn't catch that
Yeah, I
until
told.
like they
Well,
said it.
that the reason why was because like me and Lobs were just basically sitting there, and I was making fun of like everything and anything and everything
Yeah.
that was going on screen because I was kind of obliterated with like the whole bottle of wine that I was drinking that night. Because I'll be honest, I don't like Game Awards. I don't like awards shows in
Oh
general.
no,
So
fair.
that's pretty much why.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, Game Awards shows. It's not. It's obviously not for everyone. Like, what is it? Oscar. Oh, I don't even know the other ones. Golden Globes
Oscar,
and
it's
Grammys.
Oscars.
Grammys.
Yeah, Graham. It's Oscar.
Yeah.
It's an EGOT. So basically,
Yeah.
it's an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. So basically,
Oh,
TV, uh, music,
movies.
movie, and stage. That's
Oh,
an
stage. Oh, that's
EGOT.
what the Tony is.
That's the EGOT. Yeah. So like that's just something if you would know on theater and everything like that. But I mean, I guess if the Game Awards was like your thing, which is like kind of great. I mean, I guess we can like
It's
move.
unique. That's
Yeah,
why I loved every NFG I did. Also, another random memory was when Lobs and I were casting. It was getting really intense, right? And we are on the beach stage, and then suddenly just the power shut down, and we're like, all right, cool. I guess we're done for today.
that was the first. That was the
Yeah.
first one. That was not my
Oh,
my bad.
no, but that's not anyone's fault on the technical side from us. That is Mother Nature saying, "Hey guys, we're done here today." That was really funny. I thought that was a funny like I got the message from you just being like, "I think we're done today. You guys can just take the time off now." I'm like, "Well, that there it is." I thought that
Well,
was also a funny moment.
yeah, no, that was pretty good.
Yeah. It was fun to cast that all the way up
Oh,
until that point though, because I liked the building of our casting chemistry, Lobs.
Mhm.
Because I think like going into this, you probably saw something about me, like maybe like watch that. I don't really know, but it was really like heartwarming, really cool that when we hopped on the mic together, it didn't take long. It was pretty quick.
No.
It was pretty simple. Like I think we respect each other's like moments and when we should talk. Know how to raise that energy level. Also know like what to say and when to say when it's appropriate. I just think that when that happens, it's pretty magical, and that what makes a good commentator duo. So, and then of course Toma is great too because he's got that NPR voice, and he's
Yeah.
also got all the knowledge. So yeah,
you
none of y'all
can't
saw
see.
that.
Yeah,
Only
you saw that. No
I
one,
saw that.
no one on the stream saw that. So we'll just kind of go on that. But Lobs, like what are some memories that you have of 2024?
Oh, 2024 is actually a fairly big year for me stream wise. I mean, it started with like January 1st when I was accepted in the Capcom Creators Club. And I continued to sort of like uh continued with my fighting game stuff. I got really into Tekken 8 when it came out and I was like watching every single reveal and just building up to it. And then not too long after I met Toma and Toma began to come into my streams as and I called him what do you call it? He plays Jun, right? And it looked like she was repping for the school.
Careful, by the way, careful what you say here. Oh wait, this is John. Okay, never mind. I thought you were gonna say something about me. My bad. Sorry.
Tread carefully.
Anyway, she's wearing this outfit that really looked like she was a part of like the school committee, and of course the name is like jumping out of my head, even though I say it all the time. I bet Toma knows what I mean. But
PTA
anyway,
Junt.
yes,
PTA Jun.
PTA Jun. Thank you. So I started calling her PTA Jun. And of course, I didn't know that Toma had watched my YouTube videos or knew anything about me. But like some amount of time in there between, me just like making offhand weird jokes about whatever costume his character wore and us like, playing together. We sort of developed a rapport. Eventually, we started hanging out and talking. Then eventually, he's like, "Hey, I'm a part of this fighting game group. You want to be a commentator?" Not really knowing that yes, actually, that was the direction I really wanted to go in. So, getting invited to do fighting game commentary, especially since I felt like I didn't have like the experience in that, really meant a lot to me. And, with Toma's radio, NPR, hockey background, and then Pryde having like years of experience, I sort of like tried to soak up the information that they were giving me so that I
Mm,
could stand on my own in a crowd where I felt like I was the least experienced person in what we were doing. So I tried to just always remain confident. So I guess like my big memories of the year was honestly kind of some of those early Razor events and the first few episodes of No Frames Given, where I was still really nervous and I felt like I was getting my legs under me. It meant a lot to have like two really strong sort of, commentators stand with me so that I could sort of, build rapport with you, work with you, and become better at the craft, which is what I wanted. Like, that just meant a lot.
Yeah. And I'll say this, like, one, don't sell yourself short, Lobs. Like I said, you
mm,
had a theater background, and I came from YouTube, so I had no idea what Twitch was. Well, I mean, I knew what it was, but I barely did anything on there. Like, I didn't follow. I only followed like two people at the time. Like one of them being Tekken Land being my coach, but also like a really famed Julia player over in Asia. But like, I was getting back into Tekken 7 when I got into it, so I was like, okay, this is a guy that I'll get into just to like get back into the game. But like, you knew how to stream, you knew how to talk to people, you knew how to do all of that. I don't know exactly what made me think that you would want to do commentary. Like, I don't remember if there was something that you said, like, particularly in your stream, but from hearing you speak on a natural side, from hearing you speak on a scripted side with the YouTube videos with your sense of humor and everything, I just thought it would be a natural fit for how I wanted when I was starting all of this, how I wanted the MTS commentary to be, and which was what I wanted to say was like, be a little bit more better for the casuals. Like, we must have knowledge, yes, but we need to know how to talk to the casuals and not get them bored. Not everyone's gonna know a down forward two or a 214, the infamous 214 by Jin. Not everyone's gonna know that, but like, the thing is that we can call out what we see on screen and then make like an anecdote that a layman or a casual could understand and just have fun. Like, we were trying to have fun with
mhm,
our commentary, and that's why think both you Lobs and Pryde, like, that's why I picked the both of you, is that we both, all three of us, have that good mix. Like, I have the subtleties. Like, I'll say like weird off cuff things. I just did one just now. Like, I'll say weird off the cuff things that would make you like go do a double take type of thing. Lobs is loud, but she will make really off out of pocket comments, and it they'll hit most of the time. Um, or at least I'll look at you weird, and then Pride is Pride. Pride is almost like the our ADHD like spokesperson. Like, he will talk, and then next thing you know, he'll like be like, "Ooh," and we'll kind of go about it. So that's kind of why we have this team, and that's why I'm just glad that we're all here in 2024. So I'm really looking forward to working
Mhm.
together in 2025 and everything like that. And if everyone's like listening to this, at least in the first half of the year, or at least the first 3 or 4 months of the year, like we do have plans to be doing stuff um in the month of May, at least that's what I can say right now. In the month of May, when it comes to there's a New York City tournament, DIY, we're gonna be trying to work in that. And and then at least as MTS will be there as MTS, but there could be more to that. And then we're going to be also a combo breaker as well. So uh, doing content, doing all these other different things and everything like that. So these are just a couple different things that we're kind of looking forward to. Probably segueing to someone else's, you know, forward topic of like 2024, 2025. But you know what? Why don't we go to that? So like Pride, like I think you actually did mention that, you were kind of looking forward to sort of like some of these like trips and stuff. Is there anything within these trips that you're thinking about wanting to do, or is there something that, you know, um, is there something that you're particularly looking forward to in those things, or what do you think, or what do you have in mind?
These are 2 events that I've never really been to. I've been a lot to, like, Smash Majors and stuff, and then when it came to FGC, I've obviously been to EVO, but that was a while ago. But it's not just the event itself, the matches. I would love I'm gonna play in it too. Like, I want to see how far I go, and get to meet players, but I just want to explore, like, New York and Chicago. I've been to the States, but I want to have more exposure to the different cities, especially because I hear so much about them. So I'm really pumped to be able to go to these places, flex some of my gaming skills, flex some of my speech skills, and then just be a tourist. I kind of miss being a tourist sometimes and just exploring and taking pictures and seeing things. It's kind of the usual expectations you'd get when you go somewhere new, but it doesn't change how excited I am for it. So there you go. I'm pumped. I think the opportunity being gifted to me is really nice. So
Hmm.
can't wait to do it with obviously the rest of you too. So and I get to meet you guys. So that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest one. What am I saying? Like I actually get to see. It's not just a screen. Like I get to actually be around you. You get to see me for who I am. You think I'm ADHD behind the screen? Oh, wait till you're actually with me. It's woo, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's what brings me excitement to the whole thing.
Yeah, it's nice. Lobs.
I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to that as well. It'll be really cool to hang out, and I've never been to either of these cities either. I'm really looking forward to the arcades because I think we're gonna try to make it to like Galloping Ghost and other places.
Chinatown
And
Fair.
I
Yes.
am an arcade fiend. I love them, so it'll be really cool. I hope that we can check out as many of them as we can, and I will be excited. For it for sure.
don't re- don't forget about the food. Like that's
Oh,
all.
yeah, yeah, no.
Oh my
No,
god. My
Toma's
god.
been teasing me by sending me pictures of New York food, and I'm like, "What why are you doing this? Why are you why are you teasing me so?" No, I definitely look forward to the food. I'm a big that's my favorite thing. No, I don't even hate to say it. I'm gonna own it. That's my favorite thing when I'm on vacation is planning what sort of food I'm gonna eat while I'm there. Like, yes.
I mean,
I want the best.
when it comes to those type of trips, you gotta like just know, like, especially when it comes to New
Mhm.
York City, it's like the mecca for any type of food you can think of. Like, if you
Plus
want,
being there with, like, because you live around there, right?
yeah, and
So
I used to
you'll
work
be able
around
to
there.
tell us all the best
Yeah,
spots.
just as long as
All the
I,
best pots too.
oh,
Hot pots.
that's more, oh, hot pots, yes, not the other one. But what I was gonna what I was gonna say though was that it's like when it comes to like the restaurants and everything, like, you can find anything you want. Like, it could be like the most obscure food. Like, do you want like, we could probably find like a cuisine of like Congolese food. Like, that's just like how, like, or Bengali food, or like just named as like exotic food. Like, it's not just going to be your, I don't want to say stereotypical, but like, Japanese food or anything like that. But is there anything else that you're kind of like looking forward to? Like, I kind of know we diverted to a food trip, but I know in the pre-show you were talking about other stuff too.
Yeah, no, another thing, I'm a big retro streamer and gamer. I have a firm belief that retro fighters are still amazing games. I realize that, it seems like, especially in the fighting game series, a lot of times the games will come and go unless they have like a big following, like Third Strike or something. But I am very excited for Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I'm really looking forward to Capcom versus SNK 2 getting released, as well as even like Power Stone. And while I was more into the first game, like Project Justice is going to be on there, and it just love that they are putting out these games again. I mean, I was really excited for Marvel collection last year, so. And I like Capcom versus SNK too, probably more than Marvel personally. We all have our
Mhm.
favorites, so it's just really exciting to see another great collection come out at the beginning of next year, or
Yeah,
I believe it's going to be early next year
yeah,
or this year.
yeah. I'm not really sure when it comes to game releases in general. I'm kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
like, what is kind of happening? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't even believe with like what I'm looking forward to next year outside of like MTS stuff. Like, I'm looking forward to the trips. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys, and doing even more content with you folks as well. But like when it comes to some of the games that I'm like looking forward to, like I'm actually really looking forward to City of the Wolves, like the Fatal Fury City of the Wolves game, which is slated for April 25th, I believe. Which would be a week one game at DIY. Like that's the New York regional that we were kind of alluding to earlier. That's going to be happening in Brooklyn between May 3rd and 4th, I believe, and of 2025. And the only reason why I'm into it is because it's a 2D game that I've always like loved. I've always loved Fatal Fury. It was like my first love into a lot of these fighting games. Like everybody talks about Street Fighter, everybody talks about Evo Moment 37. Like I didn't I was like before that. Like I was playing Justin Wong, granted like PTSD playing Justin Wong in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 when he was like 14, like 14, 15 years old at Chinatown Fair, which is an arcade that we'll probably go to when you guys come here. It's gone through different management changes and stuff, but that was the arcade. Like it's literally still a hole in the wall of it's not the greatest things to look at. It's not, I don't want to say it's not safe. It's actually pretty safe, but you just kind of like look at it and we talk about it so much, or like a lot of people from the old heads or the old school people will talk about it so much because it was like where we learned. Like I would travel. Like I'm not from New York City. Oh, I was born here, but I grew up in upstate New York. And when I say upstate New York, I'm talking like, Albany, Syracuse, around there, like those type of areas. So we would drive like 3, 4 hours just to go to the city because I was probably one of the better Tekken Tag 1 players. That was the game I started playing where I would do money matches and all that type of stuff. Um, we would drive 3 or 4 hours just to go down to New York City to Chinatown Fair and then try to see how we would do there. Like we also did it in Boston as well. I don't remember the name of the arcade there too, but it like I kind of was beating all the Boston folk at the time. So we just kept going to New York City. So that's why New York City's always been a big thing for me. And that's what City of the Wolves, uh, yeah, City of the Wolves. I always get it confused between Garo, Mark of the Wolves, and Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. But that's kind of what I'm really looking forward to game wise. It's bringing me back this nostalgia. Am I gonna be uh, a pro player in it? Probably not. Like I'm kind of well past that. I have a lot of life things that I have to worry about and everything like that. But you know, again, it's a new year and we have all of this um like content lined up. I'm hoping you guys have been enjoying the shorts and everything like that. We alluded to Lobs' reaction. A lot of it is me, Lobs, or Pride just um making fun of whatever we see on screen or making fun of each other. It depends. Or weird shout outs to Bob Ross. I don't know. That was a weird one that I had to cut. I thought it was great, Lobs. But like I just want to say, like, what what does MTS mean to you guys? And like, what does it mean to like, moving forward and stuff? and what does it mean, and what does this team mean to you? Like, I'm just gonna ask like something sentimental. Like, I know this was not talked in the pre-show, but I did that on purpose because I like doing improv and I like getting things off the cuff. So I'm gonna go back to Lobs because she's looking at me like, "What the f are you doing to me?" And because she knows I like doing this, just throwing her like, it's like here, like oh no, she did it, and then just kind of push her in front and then run away and see what she does. So yeah, what do you say, Lobs?
It's all right. I understand that that's how you do it. No, for me, MTS has been a very welcoming community. You know, as far as like Twitch is concerned, have always felt very welcomed and into the retro community, right? But fighting games, which is also my love and a thing that's big on my channel, while of course I do have friends in the fighting game community and I've made inroads or whatever, Mid Tier Summit was the first one that really kind of went, "Hey, we like you. Come hang out with us," right? And that meant a lot. Since I've been on the Discord, I join in on battles, usually about once a week, maybe. And it's really fun because I get to be on voice and we talk to each other. We make fun of each other, but we tell each other how to be better. And I think my games have gotten a lot better since I've started hanging out with them. They're lovely, they're fun to fight against, and I'm getting better at the games. Like, what can I say? I'm very thankful to be a part of MTS.
Yeah, Pride.
For me, it's really impactful because back then I used to do like lots of stuff in the similar vein. But then 2024 happened, and I got a new job, life stuff happened, but I was still offered the opportunity when I did my not only just like casting for certain events, but I did the birthday one. I think that's
Hmm.
how you guys probably noticed because
Hmm.
I ran one for my birthday with a lot of the players in MTS, and they were like, "Hey, this guy's pretty cool." And I'm like,
Hmm.
"Aw." So what this means to me is it's like a second wind, and it gives me a lot of energy. And I see that I'm really, as much as 2024 was good, I'm really excited for 2025, and MTS plays a massive part in that. Not just going to travel, but in general, just getting to know these two even more than I already do, getting to do more events, and having it be like a launch pad for my own ventures. And that's why MTS isn't just like considered like a sponsor or something you would follow on just like you know um, YouTube or whatnot. This to me, it's really impactful. You said the word sentimental.
Hmm.
That's kind of how I feel about it too. So I have to be. I'm eternally grateful to the two of you. I know we usually like, kind of make jokes about each other, whatnot. But deep down, past all that, the both of you, as well as MTS in general, it means a lot to me. So 2025 is geared to be really, really good for me at least, or for all of us.
No,
But for me especially.
and like like any other, oh my god, like now my voice is starting to go. um no, but like any other venture that kind of comes out, like the three of us as sort of like the media arm of MTS, and then our podcast project of Summit Cross Up is sort of like our thing. And so when we this is our first episode, but we will have this also on Spotify and all that type of stuff. So stay tuned. We might have some bonus episodes for you that we may have pre-recorded. They were probably more like our dress rehearsals and everything, but we did talk about some other stuff. Like we talked about DLC, like the behaviors of DLC and like how they mean what they mean to not just the pro players, but like to someone like us that, or to people like us that don't really play that much. Like, how much do patches really matter to us layman, like casual folk? Like, I'm not saying that we're casuals, but I guess we are in a way. We don't play
Try
professionally,
hard
but
casual.
like, yeah, try hard casual, like super filthy try hard casual. But
Yeah.
it's all that type of stuff. But before I sign everybody off, I usually like try to like get everyone else to sign off on stuff. So I'll start it off with you, Pride. I'll just keep it on this three shot though. But like, Pride, any last words before we sign ourselves out here?
Uh, well, essentially, for myself, and I'm sure everyone else, I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm just really excited for what this year is going to bring. For not only just this, but myself, the content, and just me in general, like in life. I'm really pumped about that. So if we are signing off, if this is the moment to do it, My tag and my real name is Pryde, so you can't get them mixed up. It's the same thing.
Mhm.
I have a Twitter. It's a Pride underscore. No, no, sorry. My Twitch is Pride underscore live. And my Twitter is at Pride Brennan. You're gonna see a lot more updates from there too. But yeah, like I said, I'm just pumped for 2025, getting to be with you guys more and all that kind of stuff. It's really exciting.
Lops?
All right. Yeah, no, absolutely. I am Lobrylla. I stream on Twitch about 4 days a week, and that is at Lobrylla right there. I also have a YouTube, The Iron Lobby, which we're talking about cool things that happened last year. I also got YouTube partners, so working on doing more fighting game and beat 'em up content because, as always, I like to live out my arcade junkie life on the internet, as we do. So yeah, really looking forward to continuing to bring retro into the modern age and play more fighting games.
Yep. And with that, like I'm Tomodoc. I don't really stream or anything. I really just kind of work with MTS, but I do work with these folk all the time. So what I will say though is like please join our MTS Discord. Please watch our events, No Frames Given, that are on Sundays and Thursdays, Sunday afternoons, Thursday evenings, right now. So if you can please do that. And yeah, just try to be active in the community, like our content. So all that stuff will be in the description below. And with that, we're going to be signing off, and we'll see you next time. So have a great night, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.